In this video, we will discuss new date and time libraries which were introduced as part of Java 8. First, in this video, we will look at the existing java.util.date and simple date formatter libraries which are part of the Java since the beginning, and we'll look at their drawbacks, and then afterwards we'll explore the new date and time libraries which were introduced as part of Java 8. So java.util.date and simple date formatter, which are part of Java since early days, are not thread safe, leading to potential concurrency issues for users, which is not some average developer expect to deal with when writing date handling code. The design of the date and time classes also exhibit poor API design. For example, years in java.util.date starts at 1900, month starts at 1, and days start at 0 are not very intuitive. Developers had to write a lot of code to deal with time zone issues. Due to these issues, third-party date and time libraries such as DateTime is very popular among Java developers. To address these problems, a new date and time API which is free of these problems has been designed for Java 8. The project has been led jointly by the author of DateTime and Oracle. Java 8 introduced a new DateTime API under the package java.time. Important classes introduced in java.time package: local, simplified DateTime API with no complexity of time zone handling, and zone specialized DateTime API to deal with various time zones. Now we will code examples of old and new libraries in order to understand the difference between them. So let's create a new package, new, and then package, and the package name is com.modernjava.datetime. And now let's create a new class, new Java class, and class name is DateTime example. And let's create public static void main. So first we will look at the java.util.date and simple date formatter to understand the complexity of those APIs. So in order to create a new date, you just create a new date object is equal to new date, and then afterwards create a date format, and df is equal to new simple date format. It's complaining about the date because there are two dates, java.util.date and java.sql.date. So we are interested in java.util.date and simple date format, and here you define the format of the date like YYY and -mm-dt, and then afterwards you print out date df.format and date object. So this is how you used to format in java.util.date. So let's run this example. So you got the date in this format through java.util.date. Now let's look at the time. So in case of time, you basically create a new simple date format, and in the format of hour, minute, and then second, and format date, format, and then date object. And let's run this example. Now you can see the date and you can see the time and formatted time, which is hour, minute, and second, which is 17, 49, 49 and 07. And the existing library, there's also one library which exists, is the calendar library. So you can get the calendar dot get instance and then get time. Let's print this out. So it print out the date time for you. Now let's look at the new libraries which were introduced as part of Java 8. So first of all, we'll look at local date and create an instance of, it's a factory instance, local date is equal to local date dot now, and then just print out local date. Let's run this example. So it printed out the local date. You don't have to format or do anything. Just printed out the local date in the format, which is YYYMMDD. Now look at the local time and local time is equal to local time dot now, and let's print out the local time. Now let's run this example. So you can see that it printed out a local time. You don't have to format or anything at this point. You can do formatting, and we'll be discussing about this in later sections. But just for the timing, that how easy it is with this local date and time libraries to get the date and time, and then local date and time, local date time is equal to local date time dot now, and print out. Let's run this example. So it printed out the local date time, just like in the format of date, and then afterwards time, and then nanoseconds. So these are some of the examples of the existing and the new libraries which were introduced as part of Java 8.